The morning sun settles over the pasture like warm syrup, golden light catching the dew on the grass. My boots crunch against gravel as I make my way to the barn, coffee thermos in one hand, bucket of oats in the other. The cows moo softly behind the wooden fence, their breath fogging in the crisp spring air. This is peace. My kind of peace. Name's DeShawn. 38. Born and raised in Mississippi, but I bought this slice of North Carolina land with my wife Mia 5 years back to start fresh. 17 acres, a red tin-roofed barn, and a little white farmhouse tucked beneath 2 old oaks that whisper stories when the wind rolls through. Our nearest neighbors are a half-mile down the road, but the subdivision behind us, Rosewood Creek, is creeping closer every year. Big beige houses packed like sardines, cookie-cutter lawns, and a homeowners association so strict they probably fine their own pets for barking too loud. I mostly keep to myself. Grow vegetables, raise cattle, fix things with my hands. But ever since Rosewood expanded its rear gate, a new gravel path now cuts behind my pasture, right up against my barn. It wasn't there before. One day I wake up and the HOA's gone and paved it without so much as knocking on my door. I should have raised hell then. Should have known it wasn't just a road. I hear the rumble before I see it. A white BMW SUV cruises past my fence, slow and deliberate like it owns the dirt. Stops right there. Dead in front of my barn doors. I blink. What the hell? A blonde woman steps out in high heels on gravel. Designer sunglasses. Pearl earrings. The type of woman who's never held a hammer but has strong opinions on how your mailbox should look. She clicks her remote. Beep beep. Locks it. Walks off toward the new gate, not even glancing my way. Hey. I call out. She pauses, turns her head just enough for me to see her eyes roll behind the shades. You don't own the road, she says, voice clipped and sharp like broken glass. I do own that barn. She shrugs. Then you can wait. She disappears through the gate, leaving me staring at the shining white vehicle that's now completely blocking my access to the feed room and tractor. I don't even know her name. But I know exactly who she is. Rosewood's got a reputation. The HOA runs it like a private kingdom, mostly white, mostly wealthy. People whisper stories about complaints filed for having too ethnic Christmas decorations, about families mysteriously encouraged to move out after one too many cookouts. We never fit their picture. I sip my coffee, the bitterness sitting sharp on my tongue. It's just a car, I tell myself. But the truth settles in my gut like rusted iron. This ain't about parking. It's a message. And I hear it loud and clear. 3 days later, the BMW is back. Same spot. Same woman. Same cold smirk when I step outside and spot her heels tapping across my gravel like she owns the soil. Except this time she's on the phone. I don't care if he says it's private property, she's saying as I approach. It's a utility easement now. We're entitled to access for emergency use, aren't we? Well, then make him understand. I clear my throat. Loud. She turns with a sugary smile that never touches her eyes. Oh, hi, she says like I'm interrupting a garden party. You again. I motion toward the barn. You're blocking my tractor path. Again. She doesn't miss a beat. It's only temporary. I'm hosting the Rosewood Garden Society brunch. We needed extra parking. We thought you wouldn't mind. She gestures to the land like it's on loan to her. It's not like you're doing anything important with it. I bristle. It's a working farm. Oh, she says, faux surprised. Right. I just assumed it was more of a hobby. I stare at her. You didn't ask. She shrugs, already turning away, phone back at her ear. These people are so territorial, she murmurs, voice just low enough to make me question if I heard right. That night, I checked the trail cam footage I installed months ago. I usually use it to keep an eye on coyotes. But the new road's been getting too much traffic lately. Cars creeping past like they're casing the property, strangers taking pictures of my barn from a distance. Most turn back when they see me. But one SUV keeps coming. Always at odd hours. Always the same plates. Her plates. I bring it up at the next township meeting. Civil tone, calm voice. Just asking questions. I'd like clarification on the new access path behind Rosewood. My property line's been infringed, and now residents are using my barn area as parking. The HOA president, a balding man with a Rolex and a wine-stained smile, chuckles into the mic. Mr. Gaines, the path is compliant. The county approved it. As for parking, well, we encourage all neighbors to be accommodating. Accommodating doesn't mean trespassing, I say. Some people nod. Most look away. And in the back row I see her. Sunglasses indoors, lips tight with amusement, whispering something to a man in a blazer beside her. They both laugh. I don't know his name either, but I recognize the type. The kind that has friends at city zoning and connections at the sheriff's office. I leave the meeting feeling like I walked into a rigged game. The next morning someone leaves a note taped to my fence post. Typed and signed. If you don't want trouble, maybe you should reconsider farming so close to a residential community. That's when I know. This isn't random. This isn't careless. This is targeted. And Karen? She's just getting started. The fourth time the BMW blocks my barn, it's pouring rain. I've got a calf in distress and I'm sprinting through mud to reach the barn, boots sinking with every step. And there it is again, her damn SUV, parked sideways like a barricade between me and the life I'm trying to save. I don't knock this time. I bang on her tinted window with the flat of my palm, rain streaming down my jacket. She lowers it an inch, eyes wide like I'm the threat. Move your car, I bark. Yow. I'm on an HOA call, she says coolly. You'll need to wait a moment. There's a calf in breech position. I need my equipment now. She frowns as if I just told her I need to borrow her latte. I'm not sure what that means, but your tone is unacceptable. I clench my jaw. Lady, I don't care about your conference call. The car. She sighs dramatically like I've ruined her day. This is exactly what we're talking about on the HOA board. Hostile behavior. You people are always so aggressive. You people. The words sting more than the rain on my face. My fists clench, not in anger but in restraint. 2 hours later I save the calf. Barely. But something inside me is done playing nice. That night I go through the township's digital archives. Permits. Easement records. Satellite images. I find what I need. Proof that the HOA never had legal right to run their road behind my barn. The land still falls under my deed, all 17 acres. No right-of-way. No easement. Just plain trespass. I print it. Highlight it. Mail copies to the county board, the sheriff's office, and the HOA's legal department. I even post a laminated copy on my fence. Private property. No parking. Trespassers will be towed. 3 days later they rip it down. Literally tear it off the post. Next morning I wake to tire ruts across my alfalfa field. Deep grooves where someone drove straight through on purpose. Not a car either, those are from a truck. Heavy duty. It's not just disrespect anymore. It's sabotage. I take photos. I call the sheriff. When he shows up, Deputy Carl barely looks at the damage. Could have been teens, he says with a shrug. Or someone from the HOA retaliating, I reply. He chuckles. Why would they do that? I've got proof they're using my land illegally. He pauses, then says, well, that's a civil matter, not criminal. File a complaint downtown. But they're damaging my property. Carl waves me off. Ain't much we can do unless you catch them in the act. Catch them in the act. That's all I need to hear. I buy 2 more trail cams, this time with night vision and motion sensors. I place them high, hidden in the trees, angled straight toward the new gravel road and the back gate. The footage I get makes my stomach twist. Karen, her name is Bethany Caldwell, according to her license plate registration, has been directing others to park there. She's handing out little printed maps at her brunches, waving them like parking passes, telling people it's designated overflow. She's smiling like the Queen of Rosewood. And in one clip I hear her clear as day. Don't worry, the farmer never fights back. He knows better. Knows better. The next weekend a white truck with Rosewood HOA decals backs right up to my fence, dumps a pile of trimmed tree branches and drives off. They're treating my land like a garbage dump. That night I call up an old friend, Alma Rodriguez. She owns the County Watchdog, a small but fiery online news site that's exposed more than a few cover-ups around here. I send her the clips. The documents. The threats. She calls me back an hour later. Oh, DeShawn, she says, voice low with fire. They picked the wrong man this time. The next morning an article hits her site. Farmers under siege. How HOA power is trampling property rights and racial boundaries in Rosewood. It spreads fast. Facebook, Reddit, neighborhood groups. But Bethany isn't retreating. She holds a press event on her lawn, flanked by 2 board members. She says I'm fabricating grievances to create division, accuses me of harassment, and claims she's always supported diverse communities. I watch her on screen as she smiles wide, her voice dripping with false sweetness. But behind her I see something else, panic. Because I've got more footage. More evidence. And I'm just getting started.